Good afternoon once again. We are going to learn about something very simple about the topic air. As air, we are going to learn about air, some few things about it. We're going to look at the definition. So we are going to look at the definition of air. Then we also want to look at what I can call the components of air. Okay. In most cases, air is defined simply as a mixture of gases. So air literally is not a compound, but it is a mixture of gases which are there, but they're not reacting to form compounds, but themselves are compounds there that mix, and some are simply molecules, but they are a mixture of gases. Others talk about being a coating of the atmosphere, also being talked about as air. But I want to follow mainly the definition for the mixture of gases. And what is composed in air? So when you talk about air, of course, you get components here. Components of air. And you have a number of them. The first one, of course, is the component that we normally use for breathing, the one that we use during our respiration, even other animals or organisms that use air as a respiratory substance. And of course, that component is oxygen. And oxygen normally takes a percentage of about 21% of the total air that we have. Then we have the second component that we normally use in very many things, like in fertilizers, in making ammonia, in making some acids like nitric acid and so on. And that component is called nitrogen. The formula for oxygen, let us also indicate their formulas, is simply O2. Then also have nitrogen as a component of air, which takes around 78% of the total air. And the formula for nitrogen is also written like this, meaning it's made up of 2 atoms of nitrogen. This one is made up of 2 atoms of oxygen. Right. Then as we continue to another component that we normally use in fridges, in fire extinguishers, let's talk about carbon dioxide. It is a component that is already there in the atmosphere, and composition is 0.03%. Then the formula for carbon dioxide is, of course, carbon, just from the name, carbon dioxide, 2 oxygen. Carbon dioxide, carbon with the 2 oxygen atoms. And when we leave that, we are still continuing with some other components of air. Let's look at water vapor as a component of air. We have what we call water vapor. Water vapor, of course, the formula is there. It is simply water. But this time the state is not a liquid, but it is simply in a gaseous state. So it is simply water, but in the vapor form, in a gaseous state. Water vapor, the composition its composition is variable. Yeah, this composition is variable, which depends on which environment and where you are. So the water vapor composition varies. That's why you don't give it a fixed percentage among the components of air. Then the fifth one, we're going to talk about some rare gases. The rare gases. The rare gases are also there. They take a very small percentage. What are some of these rare gases? Okay, what are some of these gases? One of them is argon. Another rare gas is xenon. Another rare gas is the krypton. Another rare gas is helium. We have radon. And many more others. So these are the main rare gases that we have known that we are going to talk about this time. That these rare gases simply because they are said to be rare gases because first of all they are not easily found everywhere, and their percentage on the percentage of the air is very, very small, 0.097. So their composition is very small. That's why we take them to be rare gases. Since these other gases take a bigger percentage, they are the main major components of air. Now, in summary, we have air. We say the definition, we're defining it as a mixture of gases. And we're saying these gases include oxygen, which takes around 21%. And this is the most active component of air. This is the most active. In simple terms, it's the most reactive component of air. We also talked about nitrogen having 78%. This is the most abundant, as you can see from the composition here. This is the most abundant. The most abundant component of air is nitrogen. Then you have this carbon dioxide, which does not support burning, with this percentage of 0.03. And we also have the water vapor from the other side. This composition is variable, and the formula is there. It is water, simply in gaseous form. Then we also have the rare gases, argon, xenon, krypton, helium, and radon. So this is part 1 of this topic. This is simply part 1. So we can wait for part 2 in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.